Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? We got a quick breaking story for you guys here, man. We're gonna be talking about Kawhi Leonard and them damn Clippers. It's come to this. Now I gotta refer to Kawhi Leonard and these guys as those damn Clippers. I'm allow y'all to catch up to the live. Let's give it like 2 minutes. Make sure y'all check in and let me know where y'all are coming in from. And then we're gonna get into it in the next 2 minutes, man. Just wanna do this topic real quick before we get to our main content of the day. Let me just see this row here. Okay. Shout out from Ohio. Shout out to your sorry Clippers. Nah, the person's name is not shout out to your sorry Clippers. He said shout out to Ohio. There's somebody else. Shout out to Jersey, Chicago in the building. I see Rafine, Virginia. Shout out to Indiana, Toronto, North Carolina, Texas. I see y'all. Shout out to Nathan from Maryland, the hometown. Shout out to Peace from Barbados, South Carolina. Let's give it like another minute. We're going to jump into this. Shout out to Philly, another 30, 40 seconds. Let's allow everybody to come into the building. Okay, just a second real quick. If y'all hear my daughter and downstairs screaming, just know why. Just a second real quick. All right, we back. Shout out to Brooklyn. Where else we got? We got Louisville. We got the NBA will be coming back soon. We got Antigua. Shout out to Dallas, Texas. Let's give it 10 more seconds, and then we should be good to go. Okay, let me get into this story here. Shout out to the Boogie Down Bronx, Mr. Plus. Y'all know we got the season coming up in the next less than a month from now. Training camp is about to start. So we had actually just finished shooting content for the day. We're done. We're done. And we're preparing it for you guys for it to come out. And then I see an article on, I jump on YouTube and I see some videos about Kawhi Leonard. What do the Clippers do now and all of this? So I Google Kawhi Leonard and I'm like, what the hell happened with Kawhi Leonard right now? Well, it looks like, and I'm going to share it with you guys. This is from the yardbarker.com. Let me post it for you guys in the comment section there. Kawhi Leonard, once again, just had off-season surgery and once again is going to miss another beginning of an NBA season. That's the news of Kawhi Leonard once again. Stop me if you've heard this record before. Kawhi Leonard could miss opening night after off-season procedure. For the Clippers, the more things change, the more they stay the same. This is what the article says. As the Los Angeles-based club ushers in a new era of the 2024-2025 season with the new arena and logo, it continues to deal with the injury concerns of its franchise star Kawhi Leonard. On Tuesday, Sham Karania of The Athletic reported that Kawhi Leonard, okay, this is from Shams. Kawhi Leonard underwent a procedure on his knee in the offseason and will be, here we go again, and we will be limited to strengthening his knee at the start of the training camp next week. As such, the defensive ace could potentially miss the Clippers opening night fixture against Kevin Durant's Suns on the 23rd. I want to continue on. Let me read what Lawrence Frank had to say. He said earlier in the day, Clippers president of basketball operations Lawrence Frank revealed the swelling in his knee, which forced him to miss the chunk of the playoffs last season, has significantly gone down. Here we go. Wait, here it comes. But remains a concern ahead of training camp. Lawrence Frank said, it's almost gone, referring to the swelling. He wants to participate in everything in training camp, Frank said of Leonard. But we're going to hold him back from drill work and really focus on strengthening because the goal of it is to get him 100% so he can have a great season. Not this year, but man, I'm tired. Man, I'm tired. I am tired. I'm tired. This is the same thing I've heard for probably 3 or 4 of the last 5 freaking years. for the past 3 to 4. Do y'all remember? I think it was 2 years ago. Kawhi Leonard came off of that torn ACL injury. He came in. I think he played. I think it was on opening night. Then he came off the bench. Then he played. Then he played well. Then he went back to the bench, and then he came back again for some few minutes, and then they took him out because of minute restrictions. And you're sitting here asking yourself, like, "Yo, what is going on?" Then he's playing. They say he's good, and then he misses like an entire stretch of basketball. Then he comes back. Then he plays again. I'm like, "Yo, what are we doing right now? Like, what are we actually doing right now? Like, what exactly are we doing right now?" I'm so sick of it. Again, another season of, oh, looks like Kawhi Leonard may not be healthy again this year. It's like, when will this stop? Some people said this is only devastating to you. It might be right, man. It might be right. You might be right. I guess I'm the only one that cares. But Kawhi Leonard, man, is such a bro. It is so disappointing. It's so disappointing. And then I got another article when they're talking about Clippers team president, hear this, eyes massive extension amid Kawhi Leonard's uncertainty and offseason failures. This is from essentiallysports.com. Let me post this in the comments for you guys here. They're now looking to offer Kawhi Leonard a massive extension. Charles, you and me both. It's time to jump ship. No. I'm tired. I'm tired with this. They said they're about to offer Kawhi Leonard a massive extension. The LA Clippers are in trouble. With no new names and just one draft pick, they face a stale roster for the 2024-2025 season. The team lost key stars like Paul George, Russell. Now they are all in on now all eyes are on James Harden and Kawhi Leonard to turn things around. Just now all eyes are on James Harden and Kawhi Leonard to turn something around. This basically means that the Clippers' future is done because James Harden has never turned anything around. He's never actually been reliable. So that's the first part. The second part, Kawhi Leonard, who is a hell of a player when he's healthy, is rarely there when you need him. He's rarely there. We have had two consecutive playoffs with Kawhi where he played 2 games and he was gone. He did that the year before, and then he just did that last year. And now, according to this article, let me read it. It says Kawhi Leonard will most likely miss opening night. Of course, somebody said, what? Yes, you read it right. Of course, right? The 33-year-old is going to be sidelined. Now, I want to get to the part where they talk about offering him an extension. Clippers, wingman, no. I want to get to that part. Yeah, this article goes on and on. I'm trying to find the part. I can't find it. All right, they got a lot going on. But anyway, the point is they now want to offer Kawhi Leonard an extension. And now the Clippers have a multi-billion-dollar Intuit Dome Arena, and the 2 stars that are left are Kawhi Leonard, who won't be there for opening night, and James Harden. Let's talk about this for a second. Y'all know I used to be a Kawhi Leonard fan. I still support Kawhi Leonard to a certain extent, but he's no longer like the guy I go rooting into for a season. Like, oh man, he's the guy I'm looking for. I can't do that anymore. I've spent 5 years, 5 good years. Some people don't last in marriages that long. Some people don't make it 5 years in a marriage. I spent 5 good years supporting Kawhi Leonard. And for 5 of those years, it's been nothing but total disappointment. Nothing. I only got to see Kawhi Leonard healthy for 1 year in the playoffs for the Clippers. 1. What other NBA superstar player have we seen that with? What other NBA superstar? Let me see. I know PG has injury problems, but the fact that the Clippers still want to give Kawhi a max extension and him is baffling. I think the reason is they didn't want to give Paul George, as you said, because the Clippers were looking at Paul George with a side eye, with the same side eye they were looking at Kawhi Leonard. But the only difference is Kawhi is actually better than Paul George. Paul George was just as injured as Kawhi Leonard, folks. Now, Kawhi was more injured than him, but Paul George was just as much injured. Number two, when Paul George was there, he wasn't as reliable. If you go back to the 2020 bubble, we could make a significant argument that had it not been for the lack of adjustments from Doc Rivers, but more importantly, for the terrible play from Paul George throughout that second round semifinals, semi-conference finals, whatever series, the Clippers could have probably advanced. Go look at those playoff box scores. Paul George was ass cheeks for those games. In the last game, he put up a brickathon. This dude was building skyscrapers in the freaking auditorium. He had a shot that hit the side of the backboard and knocked one of the cameramen over. That was Paul George. So the Clippers are looking at Paul George, they're looking at Kawhi Leonard. They're like, okay, we got two stars. They're barely here, but one of them is better than the other one, clearly. But this other one is delusional. Because Paul is talking about, well, everything I've done for the organization. What did Paul George do for the Clippers? Everything I've given to. What did Paul George give the Clippers? Paul George is acting like as if he gave them a championship banner, or he gave them a Western Conference Finals a banner, like they made it to the final. They didn't do nothing. So for Paul George to be expecting a supermax contract, he crazy. He bugging. Son is he's bugged out. For him to be even looking for that type of contract, he bugged out. And when I listened to Lawrence Frank was like, they don't know what Paul George is talking about, because Paul George, I think, how much did they offer Paul George for that extension? Wasn't it 100? Because my daughter's sleeping. Somebody said, why am I whispering? Because my daughter's sleeping. I don't want to wake her up. What is it? How much did they offer Paul George for that contract extension? How much did they offer him? How much did they offer Paul George? Wasn't it 100? And let me see. I think they offered him what, 100? Nah, it wasn't 100. I think, how much did they offer Paul George? Do y'all remember? Let me see. Let me see if I can find it here. Paul George Clippers extension. Let me see if I can find it. Extension. Okay, let me see. I can't find it right now, but I'm trying to find the 2 years 60. Right, 2 years 60. 2 years 60. Was it 2 years 60 or 3 years 120? Which one was it? Was it 2 years 60 or 3 years, 2-year max contract? I think what, 30 a year, right? If I remember right, it was a while ago. I know it was 2 years. So 2 years 60. So Lawrence Frank is like, oh, I don't know what Paul George is talking about, because he wasn't including the player Paul George is out of his mind. Paul George wasn't even including the player option. Paul George had a player option for like what, 35, damn near $40 million. So he had an option. So he would have also gotten that year plus the new contract. So really it was 3 years. So Lawrence Frank was like, I don't know what Paul George is talking about, but Paul George wanted to make $50 million a year. Think about it. You want to make $50 million a year and you've not even been to the finals. But Paul George talking about what he did for the Clippers. Let me read what this gentleman said. Dominique said, Clippers focus too much on just trades, free agency. What is it? Adrian, trying to add stars. You have to add in some reliable young talent that you draft. Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate the super chat. So Paul George was delusional. So the Clippers got all this money and they got to give it to somebody. So I understand that from that standpoint, they got to give it to somebody. For people coming in, I want to quickly read for y'all, for the new people coming in from what's the name of this website? From, I think, the Yard Barker. .com. Let me just post the website for you guys in the comments. Let me just share that for you guys here. And it says Kawhi Leonard could miss opening night after yet more offseason surgery. It says on Tuesday, Sham Karania of The Athletic reported that Leonard underwent a procedure on his knee in the offseason and will be limited to strengthening his knee at the start of training camp next week. As such, the defensive ace could potentially miss the Clippers opening night. So that's not even the part I want to read. I want to read what Lawrence Frank had to say. Lawrence Frank then said, it's almost gone. He wants to participate in everything in training camp, but we're going to hold him back from drill work and really focus on strengthening because the goal is to get him 100% so he can have a great season. Not just this year, but for many years, which basically means it's going to be another season of a bunch of nonsense with the Clippers. Expect absolutely nothing from the Clippers this season. Expect nothing. I already did my Western Conference projections. The Clippers ain't in the top 20 and the top 4. The Clippers ain't in the top 4. You got the Mavs, you got the Wolves, you got OKC, you got Denver, you got John Morant that's going to be coming back. What's the other team I'm not that you think about? Houston, who got pretty good last year. Towards the end of the year, you got Houston, who I expect to be better. You got DeMar DeRozan in Sacramento. You got the Lakers, and I think the Lakers will be better than the Clippers this year. So I don't expect the Clippers to do anything. If the Clippers want Kawhi to be healthy, play him as little games as possible. Play him as little games, but stop putting out these things of, oh, well, we're gonna look after him and make sure that he's all right and all that. Somebody said, and also you got the Pelicans. So I don't view the Clippers in that tier anymore. Now, to be fair, I wanted them to trade away Paul George. I wanted them to break up that core unit. The one thing that they did get right, for as unreliable as Harden is in the playoffs, he is very durable. That you got to give James Harden. He's very durable. Now, how are James and Kawhi going to work? We shall see. But at least James Harden plays games. But this is going to be another season. Somebody just said it. Is this really news? Exactly. Is this really news? Somebody said Harden requesting a trade. I don't even know. Nah, Harden can't go nowhere. I think this is his last contract. Where Harden gonna go to? Unless he want to go back to Houston. I don't think Harden gonna get any other big. This is it. This is his last big contract. And I think the same thing for Kawhi. I don't think Kawhi getting another big contract after this, unless something miraculous happens. There ain't that many players at 34, 35 getting super you're talking about Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, a few others that I probably can't think of at that mid-30s, above 30, going to get a big contract. The rest of them are not. Should they trade Kawhi Leonard? I don't know what the hell they should do, to be honest with you. But it's going to be very hard to trade Kawhi Leonard when now you know that he's not 100% healthy. So in order for you to even trade Kawhi Leonard, you're going to have to, what's the word? You're going to have to display to teams that he's healthy. Now, if you're a team looking to win a championship this year or next year, and you're one piece or two pieces away, then you go for it. What teams could that be? A possible team that I think that Kawhi Leonard could be, if he's traded, could go to and impact immediately and probably help them win a championship. A team that comes to mind, although the coach has a tendency to run down his players, but a team that comes to mind is the New York Knicks. If you put Kawhi Leonard on the New York Knicks, when they need a legitimate scorer, the New York Knicks could come out of the East. The Knicks need a legitimate scorer, especially at the 2 or 3 spot. If you put together a package for Julius Randle and all of those dudes, The Knicks could do well. Somebody said the Miami Heat. You need teams that are already playoff teams that you add him to, and he can immediately vote you up the ladder. But I think it will be in the Eastern Conference. If they were to trade Kawhi, I don't see them trading him to the West. I don't see why you would make another team better in your conference. So I would most likely trade him to the East. It would either be like a team to New York or a team like the Heat, or those are the teams I would look at. Those are the teams I would look at. But in the Western Conference, I don't see any team trading for him. I don't see any team trade. It has to be a team that needs a player like that. And the Knicks, it would make sense if you can get him for a player like Julius Randle. But I don't think that's going to happen. And I think one of the biggest mistakes Kawhi Leonard made was leaving Toronto a year too soon. He should have stayed one more year, and they would have probably had a chance to go to the finals. Somebody say, he can chill in Milwaukee. Yeah, he would have probably had a chance to go to the finals one more time. So I think he made a mistake there. But I think him leaving Toronto was a very, very big mistake. We know the reason he left Toronto. It came down to Masai Ujiri not wanting to trade Pascal Siakam for Paul George. That was the major thing. Kawhi Leonard wanted Paul George over Pascal Siakam. That was what they wanted. Masai Ujiri wanted to keep Pascal over Paul George. That was it. So Kawhi was like, well, if you're not going to give me Paul George, and I'm already entertaining the idea of staying here, and he was in championship winning mode, maybe he felt like the team that he had wasn't good enough to repeat. So he's like, well, I'm going to leave. I'm going to go to another team that's already a playoff team and go stack it with Paul George, and then we're going to go try to win it. So that's the reason it didn't work out. Ultimately, Pascal ended up leaving. He went to the Indiana Pacers, where he is now. But we just got to see. So that's the breaking news, guys. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but that damn Kawhi Leonard, man, and them Clippers. Listen, this thing of we'll monitor him and we want to strengthen it, for somebody that's followed the team for the last 5 years, for those of y'all who don't know what that means, basically what that means is this. They're going to load manage the hell out of Kawhi Leonard this year. You're going to see a lot of moments when the team may need Kawhi Leonard and he will not play, but you will see him on the sideline. Then you're going to be wondering what is going on, and the Clippers are not going to give you any information at all, and it's going to be like that for the entirety of the basketball season. That is going to be the formula for the Clippers this year. And then one or two things may happen. You may get to the playoffs, which they could as a bottom seed. I will be shocked. If the Clippers make it to. Oh, shout out to the Pull Up Podcast. Shout out to my dude, the Pull Up Podcast. You see him in the comment section. Shout out to him. Make sure y'all go follow him. He gives you. I think he works with the Clippers. He gives you a lot of insight what's happening with the team. He interviews reporters and people that work at the team. So make sure y'all check out the Pull Up Podcast. That's him right there. The Pull Up. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. He in the comments right there. Drop the link. Drop the link for your channel. Shout out to him. But anyway, if you want Clippers content, he gives you insider information. But that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. So to me, man, I'm not surprised about this. But it's gonna be another season like this, man. So if you're a Clippers fan, get ready for another disappointing season, because I have heard this so many times. This is not the first time I've gotten this news that we're going to be managing Kawhi Leonard. I'll be shocked if the Clippers make it to the playoffs. I'll be shocked. I will be shocked if they make it to the playoffs. Really. And if they do make it to the playoffs, I don't even know. Somebody says Stephen A. Smith going to blow a fuse. Probably. Oh, y'all get ready for it. It's going to be one of them seasons, man. Probably. But it's a damn shame thinking about but you know what? You can't blame him. I can't blame Steve Ballmer. At the time, it was Okay, shout out to Guyana. Shout out to Guyana. I see you. At the time, it was a good move. It was a good move getting Paul George, getting Kawhi Leonard. He just won a championship. It was a smart move. You can't fault him. And I don't think the Clippers foresaw that partnership going the way that it did. How can you know? How can you know? And now they're at the point where they just opened up a new multi-billion-dollar arena and you need somebody to bring fans into the seats. This is the reason why they also keep in Kawhi, because you got to sell tickets. You got to sell tickets. So there's also the business aspect of. Think about it from Ballmer's standpoint. You invest all of this money into this team over all these years. And now you invest money into the best arena in the NBA by far. Probably one of the best sports arena in the world. And yes, the team hasn't won anything. But you still need to fill the gymnasium. So you got to pay him. You got to pay him. But I think that they were not willing to pay Kawhi Leonard and Paul George because they had just made that mistake over the last 4 years. So they said, let's break it up. Let's break it up. So these are my thoughts, guys. Appreciate you guys for being a part of this live. Be on the lookout for what we got dropping later today. Just enough, man. Just when I sat here and thought, you know what? Like secretly to myself, I was like, yeah, you know, maybe I might support the Clippers and Kawhi on the low key. I'm not going to talk about them much this season because I don't feel like getting flamed all over the comment section by the viewers. And y'all, and listen, if y'all are flaming me in the comments, I 100% deserve it. I was up there twerking it up, knocking over drinks, slapping people with honey for Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers. I was really on one. Yeah, man, go to Clippers, yeah, Kawhi Leonard, they're going to do that. And people were sitting back watching like, okay, buddy. All righty then, you go ahead. And in the minute they lost, they basically body slammed me in them comment sections. And you would have thought that I would have learned my lesson. And what do? I turn around the very next year and do that. I did this for 5 years. So I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to say a damn thing. Even if the Clippers, for me to talk about the Clippers this season, I got to see them go on like an 8 to 10 game winning streak. I got to see them go on an 8 to 10 game winning streak for me to even consider. Because some Clipper fans are watching this video like, yo, why aren't you talking about Kawhi? I do not see you guys defending me in the comment section when these dudes be running up on me and jumping me all in the comments. I don't be seeing you dudes. I'm just stuck in the comments fighting for myself. House of Kells. Hate for Kawhi to go out like this. Was super glad he was LeBron's boogeyman for a while. Hey, yo, you try? Okay, I see. Appreciate the comment. We trying to get it going. The season about to start in a week. I saw the subtle shot. We're not gonna get it going because I know we got some LeBron fans in the comments. They lurking. I see y'all. I'm not trying to really go back and forth with them right now because they ready. They ready, right? And LeBron fans, before you laugh, don't laugh too loud. Because y'all might have a difficult season as well. We just going to have to keep an eye out. Now, in terms of the two teams, who's going to have a better season? That's an interesting one. Who's going to have a better season between the Lakers and let me ask the audience. Let y'all go. Let me put up a poll. Who will have, let me see. Let me start a poll. Let me see. Will Lakers have better season than Clippers? And make sure y'all hit the like button, guys. Let's try to get the likes at 300 likes. Let me see what y'all think. Let me start a poll. What y'all think? Who you think gonna have the better season? Let me see what the audience thinks. Will the Lakers have a better season than the Clippers? Let me see what y'all think. Somebody say yes. I think most people are going to say yes. I think most people are going to say yes. Yeah, I'm not surprised at that. I think most people are going to say yes. I'm leaning towards saying yes. Like I think that's a reasonable answer. LeBron is more. Think about this. LeBron is more available at 39, 40 in terms of being available for his team in the playoffs than both Kawhi and Paul George combined. What the hell does that say about the Clippers? That a 39-year-old with a damn walking stick is more available for his team than 2 mid-30, early 30-year-olds playing for the Clippers. So I think the chances are the Lakers will have a better somebody loving it. I see these Laker fans and they loving it. Hey man, go ahead, get your shots off. I'm with y'all. What about the video with Stephen A. Smith having an interview with DeMar DeRozan about when son was bugging? Did y'all hear what DeMar DeRozan said? Appreciate the super chat, Sagan. Did y'all hear what DeMar DeRozan said? This dude said, I'm 100% convinced in my mind that we would have won that championship had we run it back, regardless. Like, yo. Anyway, you gotta applaud DeMar DeRozan's confidence. But son is crazy. Son is absolutely crazy. There's no way. So hold on. Let me figure this out. If they kept DeMar DeRozan on the Toronto Raptors, all right, and they put DeMar DeRozan to replace Kawhi, and they went in that series against the Milwaukee Bucks, and Giannis was putting his goon down on the Toronto Raptors, and Nick Nurse said to DeMar DeRozan, you know what? You're our best player. You're our best offensive player, but we need to really slow down Giannis. DeMar, why don't you go guard Giannis for the rest of this series? You honestly believe that DeMar DeRozan would have been able to guard Giannis Antetokounmpo? Cut that you-know-what out. Giannis would have been dunking DeMar DeRozan's braids into the damn rim. He would have been running through that dude. DeMar DeRozan would not have stood a bloody chance of even standing in front of Giannis Antetokounmpo. So DeMar DeRozan, listen, I like DeMar DeRozan. I don't know him, but I like him. But he bugging. Giannis would have ragdolled that dude, to use Skip Bayless' word. He would have been rubbing what's that thing they use to rub honey on a not honey barbecue sauce on the thing on the chicken. You just see Giannis rubbing that all over his head like, yo man, just clear the way out because we about to barbecue deep fry this dude right here. It would have been a wrap for some. But anyway, appreciate you guys for being a part of the live, man. Keep your eyes out. We got some great content dropping a little bit later today, man. Y'all have a good one.